I'm here with the new head coach of Grambling State University women's basketball, Patricia Bibbs. I'd like to first of all say welcome home.
All right, it's good to be home.
Let me ask you, you've come full circle in your career starting out as a high school coach to assistant to head coach to senior women's administrator, and you've been around away from Grambling. How does it feel to be back?
Well, as I said in my press conference, it feels really good to be home. Yes, I've done a lot in those 15 years being away from Grambling, but it's been awesome to get back here and to be in the position that I am.
When did you initially conceive the idea of coming back to Grambling?
I always thought that that would be a time that I would come home. I didn't think as so much as coming back in the position of coaching. It's just that I thought I was going to finish up where I was, but then when the opportunity presented itself, that's when I said, okay, it's time. And I prayed for it. And, most of the time people, when they talk about praying, and stuff, that, if it's the right time to get back. But I think I was just going to end up finishing and then just to come home and to enjoy life.
Okay, we're going to rewind a little bit.
Okay.
Was it hard to leave Grambling to go to Hampton?
Yeah, it was difficult because it was so much success, and those 12 or 13 years that I was here coaching, I enjoyed every moment of those young ladies that I recruited. Yes, it was hard, but at that time we were just winning and winning, and it seems like I needed another challenge, and the challenge was to build another program. I mean, what we had done here at Grambling was awesome, but the idea of going to HBCU, another one, and to build that was it. But it was extremely difficult. It's always difficult when you're leaving, because you're leaving some really great fans, and you're leaving some really good kids that you recruited.
When you retired from Hampton and came home, were your plans to at any time coach again?
Well, when I left Hampton, that was in 2004, August 12th, really, and I think Hampton didn't make the announcement until the end of that month. I really thought I was done. I mean, I said, okay, I've done this. Hampton was also in the best position to win, to go to the NCAA for at least 3 more years. We had a great recruiting class, and I just thought I was coming home to enjoy something. Also, another, I guess, a habit of mine is fishing, but then I got here and discovered that all my fishing partners were still working. But it was a great 7 months. I got a chance to relax, and but a lot of times I was doing a lot of consultation with my former assistant coach, who became the head coach at that time, and he would call up, and I would just tell him, okay, now you always say if it's not broke, don't fix it. So I thought everything was fine. So he just said, Coach, this is a tough job, but as a head coach, it's always tough. But I didn't even worry about going back to coaching, because I was there with my husband. We had our car rental company, and I used to go up and help him out there, and then I would see some of my old some of the kids that I coached in high school, elementary school. It was a great 7 months until Dr. Rennick's call.
And how did that move come about, with the move to A&T?
The move to A&T, he called and stated that, he wanted me to build his program, that it was a fledgling program, and he knew the success that I've had in building programs here at Grambling and at Hampton. And then I said, Dr. Rennick's A&T, because I remember for 7 years, going into A&T, I loved the fans there because they were always cheerful. They just love good basketball, and that's what Hampton brought to the campus there. But when he called and I said, you know what? I said, I don't know. Then I said, okay. And because I seemed like I was sort of missing it, because when it came on television, I was just all excited to look at the games and everything. My husband, and my daughter, I think, and my mother, those three people really wanted me to get back in it because they felt that, I still had a lot to give. So that's how I got back into it. I went there, saw the campus, beautiful campus, and as I said, I remember the fans, a great fan base.
What is the Pat Bibbs coaching style?
94 by 50, that's my coaching style. It hasn't changed, but in order to do up-tempo basketball, you have to have the athletes who are in the best condition and willing. That's why you have to really find people who can definitely fit your system. And I think, if you have that, you're gonna be good. And someone who has passion for the game. You have to have young ladies who love it, and you don't have to tell them this is the time to practice or to go out and do some things that they do it on their own. So, but my style is exciting basketball.
Now, has your style changed from victory number 1 to victory 500?
No, because that's how I got to 500. It hasn't changed, but the competition of the recruiting is extremely tough. As I stated, you have to find those young ladies who love to play defense, who definitely can score the basketball, and as to say, have passion. So no, it hasn't changed.
What were you like as a player?
Well, that's why I'm such an advocate for women's sport, because I played it in high school when I got my scholarship to come to Grambling as an academician. They didn't have women's sport. So it was the days of the intramural, and when you used to go out, and they still do, I think, and play. It's just that they didn't have. I sat there and watched those young men, my husband, and those people, friends of mine that played the game, and we didn't have women's sports. So when it did come about for women, that's why I'm such an advocate. I didn't have it, and I grew up with 6 brothers and a lot of cousins, so I used to hit a baseball, not a softball. I was, when I played the game of softball, I was a first baseman. I was the 4th batter. That tells you that game of softball I truly loved. I just never had the opportunity here because they didn't have women's sports competitive. For the AIAW, they didn't have any of that, when I was in school.
What do you remember most about your first coaching win?
Oh, wow. We got one under belt. I had Tyrone Caldwell, who was a grad assistant for the football team. Brought him in as my assistant coach, and during the days of the Duboc High School when I was coaching there, and it was just a great success. But getting that first win on the collegiate level, man, it was like absolutely great. It was exciting, and we felt then that we were on our way.
Okay, I'm going to go back some more with you.
Okay.
Your battles with Shirley Walker at Alcorn. Tell us a little bit about those.
Oh, wow. Like Coach Fred Hardy was saying, that everybody was always be excited when we play Alcorn, because like Coach Hardy said, oh, wow, it's going to be a cat fight tonight, So, but my first encounter with Shirley, she whipped me. She whipped me good. She really let me know that she was the dominant coach in this conference. And even after she, they beat us, she came up and she hugged me, and, it was great. But then the tides turned. I found out how to beat her. And it was just some exciting basketball. I mean, I remember the very last game, but that first game, she hugged me. And that was well on the way to be she was a competitor. I respected her game. I respected her coaching. And she always just had great athletes. Most of them, she didn't have just a lot of big kids, but they were just so athletic, and she just did a great job. I respected her so much.
When the Lady Tigers suit up for the season, what kind of basketball can we expect from our team?
Well, Right at this point, it's no evaluation of the players. And, I didn't recruit the players, but they signed on with Grambling State University. So evidently they love what they do. I'm going to deal with my style of basketball, and I'm pretty sure that it's not that difficult if they, work hard and I get a couple of other players added on to them. It should be okay. It's just very difficult because in my recruiting, I had one of the best recruiting classes, and we didn't recruit for 2012. We didn't have a reason to because we signed on about 9 freshmen. So, but right now, I don't know, it's going to be very difficult. And I know people are expecting that same type. I'm going to give them that same type of system. However, it's going to take some time. And, as soon as we get the student athletes together and talk to them and let them know the philosophy and let them also know the tradition of this program. You must know about your history before you can even deal with the present. And I'm going to let them know. I want to get those banners in the arena so that they can know the rich tradition of this, this program. It is very rich.
Now, I was asked to ask you this question by someone that you know, and they wanted me to ask, can we expect to get the type of athletes like Shea Hobson, Shakia Carter, and the like?
That's who I go after. I left some Shea Hobsons and Shaquille Carters back in North Carolina A&T. They're going to be winning for at least 3 to 4 years. That's the athletes that they have. I have not stopped my recruiting type of style. I don't care who goes after these people. I go after the number 1 kid in the country. They say, okay, HBCU. It's very difficult to get those kids. Yes, it is, but you must go after them. And I'm a type of coach. I don't care who's recruiting. I'm going after the best. All they can do is tell me yes or no. I can talk to the parents. I mean, if I, win them over, that's good for us. So, yes, you can expect some Shea Hobson, Shaquille Carters, some Mary Currys, some LaShondra Ladays, some Tasha Hollises, and we're going after them. That's what we do.
Have you been able to assemble your staff?
Well, at this time, it's really late, but we are working extremely hard on getting the staff in. Hopefully, I should have everyone in by July 1. But as I said, it's very late. But, I'm kind of like a one-woman wrecking crew right now. I mean, I'm making the contacts. I'm doing a lot on my own. But hopefully June 1st or July 1, I should have everyone in.
Now, have you been able to assemble some additional players?
That's the plan. Yes, I have. We have already got 2 commitments from, something to help us under the basket. It's going to be very difficult right now because I don't know how many of these young ladies that we have. I know that they had a great recruiting class, but needless to say, I don't believe those young ladies are going to be with us. That's unfortunate because they really could have helped the program. And then I don't know about, you got to have a point guard and you got to have a post player. Those are the 2 key people that you need. And right now, we just don't know. So I'm just going on trying to find players. I'm not just going to sign players just to make the roster. What I need to do is just be very selective, as I've always done. I'm not a coach who panic. I don't panic because I know that if it's something in the players, we'll be able to get it out of them.
All right, Coach, we again like to welcome you back to home. And you have a sign on your desk that says, "Home is where they love you." And that seems appropriate because I'm pretty sure you had 3 homes during your college coaching career.
Wow! And to make this full circle and to be back in the position, it's as I say, it's awesome. It's a great feeling, and I'm going to enjoy this ride. I know I am because I am home.